everyone, my name is Yua. Thank you for watching. Today I'll be doing a spring look. If you would like to see how I got this look, please keep watching. I begin with Argan Oil by Physicians Formula. A few drops in my hand, rub it together, and then pat it all over my face, especially the dry patches. Then I spray my entire face with some Maro Badescu Skincare Cucumber and Green Tea. For foundation, I'll be mixing shades 3 and 5 from Milani's Concealer Imperfect. I'm using Luxie's foundation brush in number 510 to apply the foundation all over my face. This foundation is really good, especially if you have dry skin like me. It does not cling to my dry patches, and especially for being drugstore, I think it really does a good job. I also apply the foundation all over my eyelids as I want an even skin tone throughout my entire face. Then I like to go in with this beauty sponge by SL Miss Glam just to even out all of my foundation. For concealer, I'll be going in with the Tarte Shade Tape in shade Light Medium. Then I go back in with that beauty sponge and just even out all that concealer. Whatever's left on the beauty sponge, I put it all over my eyelids. To set the concealer, I'm going in with Kat Von D's Shade and Light Contour Palette. I'm using the yellow middle banana shade to set my under eyes and the areas that I have put in concealer. To contour, I'm using this angled brush from Morphe. I'm mixing the warm and the gray shade from the Kat Von D's Shade and Light Contour Palette. I'm contouring under my cheeks, where I want definition, and all over my forehead, where it would naturally be a little bit darker than the rest of my face. And I'm going in with this Luxie Flat Contour number 542, and I'm going in with the darkest shade in the palette and really adding definition and depth to my contour. Just going back in with that flat Morphe brush and mixing it all together just so there's no harsh lines. Then I'm going back in with those first two shades in the palette and contouring the sides of my nose. And then going back in with the Morphe brush and just making sure there's no harsh lines. For brows today, I'll be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown. I start with small strokes, defining a line, and shaping my brows before actually filling it in. To clean up the brows, I'm using Urban Decay's Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original. I'm also setting my entire eyelid as a base for my eyeshadow. For eyeshadow, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I begin with the shade Burnt Orange as my transition color, focusing on the middle of my eyelid, and so that when I put the next shade on top, there will be an easy transition. I'm also using the tapered blending brush from Luxie number 229. Then I'm going in with this bright orange shade called Real Guard. These shadows are also very pigmented and so easy to blend. You only need to tap a little and you pick up so much pigment. Then I'm going in with the shade Love Letter, which is a raspberry color. Then I'm placing it just right under the Realgar Bright Orange shade that I'd previously put down, and I'm just blending it together. Then I'm picking up the shade called Venetian Red in the palette, and I'm just focusing it on the outer corners of my eyes. And then I'm going back in with the Luxie 229 Taper Blending Brush, just to blend all the shades together so there are no harsh lines. I went back in with the shade Realgar and placed it right at the corners, closer to the eyebrow because the shade kind of disappeared as the look came together. To deepen this look, I went in with the shade Cypress Umber, which is the dark brown in the palette, and just focusing that on the outer corners of my eyes. And then I'm going in with this mini flat Luxie 151 brush and applying the Realgar shade to my lower lash line. I'm picking up Love Letter and applying that just to the middle and corners of my eyes. Then I'm going in with this Luxie 211 concealer brush and applying this ColourPop shade in Jinxie, just focusing on the inner corners of my eyes. I'm then picking up the shade Vermeer in the palette and applying that right on top of the ColourPop shadow. This helps brighten up the inner corners and just draws attention right to the eyes. I'm then going with this NYX Liquid Black Liner and creating my winged liner. I'm then going in with this Pixie by Petra and this Silky Eye Pen. I'm just lining my upper waterline. Then with the same pencil, I'm lining just right where my lash line is, not quite on the waterline. Then using a smudge brush, I'm going in and just softening the lines so it's not as harsh. To line my waterline, I'm using Pop Beauty's White Eyeliner. For mascara, I'm using Tarte's Tarte's Mascara. This mascara is really nice as it is really black and it doesn't crumble. It also lengthens and volumizes. After mascara, I applied some Ardell Studio Effects lashes. For blush, I use Makeup Revolution's Sugar and Spice palette. I use the peachy and light pink shade. For highlighter, I use the Balm's Mary Lou Luminizer. I just place it right on top of my cheekbones and then right on top of the bridge of my nose. For lips, I start with Perlice's Daily Lip Moisturizer. I then go in with the NYX Lingerie in Exotic. Put that all over my lips. And then I use ColourPop's Calypso and just place that right in the center of my lips. To finish, I'm using Urban Decay's All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. And here's the final look. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.